Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, we're going to get our tarot. We're going to look at what messages do we have for Capricorn for today. What messages does Spirit have for Capricorn today? All right, we have the King of Swords, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Chariot, and we have the Seven of Wands. Overall energy, we have the Ace of Cups, okay? That represents, aces represents beginnings, new. Cups represents emotions, feelings. Your cup is overflowing. Relationships, rekindling a relationship. All right, so let's see, I'm feeling like these cards. So we have King of Swords, we have Five of Pentacles, we have the Chariot, and then we have the Seven of Wands. King of Swords, some clarification on King of Swords. So King of Swords represents analytical, analyzing, power, decisions, directions, thought process. Any other messages for King of Swords? Any other clarification for King of Swords? Clarification for King of Swords? No. So for King of Swords, we have the Justice and we have the Hanging Man. So Justice can represent Libra, Hanging Man. Justice also represents decisions, things happening for you, finding balance. The Hanging Man. There's a choice that you have to make about something, and I feel that in order to find your answer, you have to take a step back and look at it from a different perspective. That there's a situation that you're dealing with, and in order for you to have the best results for yourself, that you have to step back. You have to see it from a different perspective. It's almost like you have to remove yourself from the situation in order to really look at it and then to decide what it is that you want to do. It could have to do with a relationship, the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship that you have with someone else, which could be a family member, a friend, a business. It could be work, it could be a partnership. Whatever this is that you're struggling with, right, that you have to analyze, okay, what's the best choice for me? What's the best direction for me? What is going to work best for me? But in order to find that, we have the Hanging Man. We have the Five of Pentacles, which is, Five of Pentacles can represent a temporary hardship. It can represent kind of, being out in the cold, just like they are here. They're out in the cold, they're definitely beat up, looks like she doesn't have any shoes on her feet. He's got a wounded leg, he has crutches, it's feeling kind of, for some reason the word desperate came to mind. Temporary hardship. This is just, I feel like it's kind of referencing more that this is just something that is temporary. All right, so we have the Wheel. Any other clarifications for the Five of Pentacles? So I feel like this is just something temporary that sometimes when we have shifts and we have changes and we start a new direction, we feel off balance. We feel that we are out of our element. We feel that we're kind of by ourselves. We feel that we're not sure of this change. And that could be something that is affecting your decision over here, is that we not feeling comfortable with change. not feeling comfortable with starting something new, and that that feeling of not knowing. I feel like this is something that you keep battling back and forth with. The Chariot. Clarification for the Chariot. Clarification for the Chariot. Clarification for the Chariot, yeah. We have the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. I definitely feel that there's something that you're walking away from, or that you have to leave behind, or this could represent emotions, it could represent feelings, it could represent old feelings for someone, or something old. It could represent a relationship, it could represent whatever these cups here represent. I feel like there's movement with that, especially with the Chariot. And then the clarification is the King of Pentacles, somebody who is patient, somebody who is dedicated, somebody who is driven towards the positive, and that having to walk away from whatever negative is holding you back. I almost feel like this is representing that you need some time to yourself, to think, to process, to sort things out. And that is what helps you with this clarification. Stepping back, because remember I said this was stepping back. The Hangman is taking a step back and looking at things from a different perspective, and to get yourself out of the situation in order to see, how do I change things? What are those actions that I need to take? What are those things that I need to do in order to create change, and to realize that you are in charge of this situation, that you're driving the Chariot, and what do you need to walk away from. But you also have to fight for yourself, right? Because we have the Seven of Wands, and standing up for yourself and getting ready to battle, and feel like everything's coming at you, and hanging in there. Emotions, lots of feelings. Hierophant Taurus. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. Of course, we have the Three of Swords coming up. And bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and then the Three of Cups was kind of poking out. So in this energy here, we have emotions, we have feelings, is there someone around you? Hierophant represents somebody around you that you can trust, that you have faith in, that you have belief in, that you can have that conversation with, and you can believe what it is that they say, because they are non-biased, and that they are looking out for your best interests. But it also could having that faith and belief that everything's going to be okay, that everything is going to be good, that you are on that right direction. It's also about having a strong foundation that is solid. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which is taking a closer look at things, looking at the fine details, changing things up, a different way of doing things. And then we have the Three of Swords, which represents, that heartbreak and that loss. I feel like this goes back to this, right? That there's something that maybe you have to, it also can represent distance, right? Three of Swords can represent that distance between you and someone else, whether it's a mental distance or it's a physical distance. But I feel like you have to distance yourself from something. I feel like you are in control of this Three of Swords, and that you are making those choices, even though it's a tough choice for you and something that may hurt your heart, or something that you have to let go of. But I almost feel like it's something that is going to help you to move forward. You know how sometimes when, say, you're living in an area, and you're, say, like your child that's going off to college, right? This is just a reference. And your parents are upset because, in some cases, not all, in some cases, like the parents are upset because their child is going off to college, right? Because the child is growing up and it's a new phase and they're an empty nester and they're feeling sad about that, right? But then the child feels, yes, it's sad that I'm sad in a way that I am leaving my parents and that I'm going from the nest, but I'm also really excited to start this next challenge, right? I'm excited to go to college. Yes, it's very nerve-wracking because it's new. I don't know, what is college going to be like? Who am I going to be friends with? It's a whole new group of friends. It's a whole new lifestyle. It's a whole new phase. It's another chapter of in life's books. And that's scary and that's big change, but it's also something that's exciting. So I feel like this is for you too, is that you're wanting to make some changes. You're thinking that you want to make some changes. And you have to remove yourself from the situation. And it's something that you have to walk away from that makes you sad. But yet it's also exciting because you're starting something new, just like that child who's going off to college, is that you're leaving something that makes you sad, but yet you're also starting something new that is exciting. And I feel like that's kind of what you're battling with. That's what you're going through. That's what you're looking at. And you're trying to make that decision is, do I go off to college, as in that reference that I was giving? Do I start this new thing, or do I stay where I'm at, like say with my parents, and I just get a job locally? But it's like, whatever that reference is for you, but it's like, I feel like that's what you're going through here, and you're trying to weigh things out. And I feel like you have to step back from the situation, and because you're going back and forth with that as what makes you happy, right? What is it that you really want to go after? What is it where you see yourself going, and realizing that you are in control of what happens and you are in control of what's going on. Sometimes we feel like almost like life is controlling us, but yet, to rein that back in and say, well, it may be temporary hardship for me because I have to walk away from something that I was comfortable with, but yet I'm excited for the new changes. What works best for you? Because you don't want to, sometimes, you have to ask yourself, is this really the right time for this change? And sometimes we have to make those hard decisions because we don't want to give in to someone else, because then there will be that resentment that starts to build up, and that's not what you want to have happen, and that's not where you want it to go. And I almost feel like you see that, and you're trying to head that off. We have acceptance to change, acceptance to the wheel, right? Acceptance to the Ace of Wands. Aces are new beginnings, new starts. Acceptance to, like this, that in order to get something new, to have changes, to have this Ace of Wands, accepting that there's going to be some Three of Swords involved in it. Whether that's a relationship that you want to walk away from, right? Is there a relationship maybe that you've outgrown, or that you've, it's holding you back? Is this the right decision for you to walk away from the relationship but to pursue something else? Like it could be that. But making that choice. We have Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom, and Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted, right? That looking at all of the possibilities, turning knowledge into wisdom, learning from the past, turning knowledge as in, okay, if I stay with this and I don't pursue what it is that I want to do with this Ace of Wands and this Wheel of Fortune, am I going to have resentment towards that energy, person, or thing that is holding me back from doing this change? Is it even yourself, right? Sometimes we talk ourselves out of doing things. Am I talking myself out of pursuing or doing something because of my own fear? And am I going to have resentment towards myself because I didn't try something, or I didn't do something, right? Or I didn't push myself? And is that what you're dealing with? Is it that not feeling comfortable with the change because it's so different, so you're stopping yourself from doing it? is that, had you done that in the past? Nothing is wasted going through the thought process, right? Being in the hangman spirit, where your hangman energy, where you're taking that step back and seeing it from all sides before you make your decision, right? Gaining as much knowledge as possible to make that decision. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.